Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Evan, also known as the Cozy Contemporary, and this is the Cozy Corner. So here we talk all things style, beauty, travel, lifestyle, wedding planning, and today we are talking about goals. So y'all might think it's a little too late to say Happy New Year, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Happy New Year! So I wanted to come on here today to talk to you guys about goal setting. So Robert and I, we spent Christmas Eve really just kind of talking about 2023 and how great, but how busy of a year it was, and also just like our key takeaways from 2023 and the goals that we have for 2024. So we were pretty aligned on most of them, honestly, which felt great. But of course, we had like some different personal and professional goals that we wanted to accomplish this year. So I thought it would be fun to share those with you guys and kind of see, you know, where your headspace is at. I'm going to share where my headspace is at. And we can just do a little bit of reflecting and goal setting here as well. So you guys can like hold me accountable. This is like my online accountability group. So all of the things that I'm saying that I want to do this year, I really want y'all to help me make sure that I'm like staying on task and getting them done. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's reflect on 2023 a little bit. It was a busy year. This was probably one of the busiest years of my life, honestly. But it was a really good year. There were a lot of great things that happened. There were a lot of like fun moments, like birthdays and karaoke and pop up, like food pop ups, and just all these little things and little moments that were really enjoyable. Of course, getting engaged was like the highlight. Um, Moving was also a highlight, even though that was like a little stressful at the time. We did a lot of traveling, did a lot of exploring New York. So it was really just a year of change and growth and community. But yeah, it was, I think overall it was pretty good. I'm going to give it 5 stars. A couple takeaways from the year though is definitely cherishing your time, enjoying those slow moments where it might feel like things aren't really happening, or it's not as busy as you're used to, and also trying to like just maximize your time so that when things are busy, developing those routines or having like schedules throughout the week, I think was pretty helpful for me before moving, because once we moved, like those routines and schedules definitely changed. But before that, I was like waking up really early 3 times a week to go to the gym. I was doing my yoga 2 to 3 times a week. I was just like, I had my little schedule and list of things that helped me, I think, really schedule and plan out my days to where they were really effective and beneficial for me. So, yeah, just cherishing your time. Time is definitely something you don't get back, and I think that you should spend it doing things that you enjoy and things that make you feel peaceful and at ease. And so that was definitely something that I took away from 2023. And also, the other thing, which I think is probably the most important for me, was just 2023 really reiterated the importance of like love and family and friends and community, because again, there was so much change and so many things happening throughout the year, and just seeing how people showed up and showed out for us was like, if I talk about it for too long I'll cry, but it just really meant a lot to me to have that support from my loved ones, just with all of these things, like with the moving and the engagement and the wedding planning. It's been like such an outpour of love. And yeah, 2023 just really reminded me to just love on your people, cherish the time that you have with them. I'm just carrying that energy into 2024. Now, goals. I have a lot of them. So I think I'm going to talk about most, if not all of them. I'll try to make it a little concise for you guys. But as I said, we spent Christmas Eve doing our 2024 goal setting. I think we're going to make that like our little annual holiday tradition. So we usually exchange gifts on Christmas Eve too. So I think it would be kind of cool to do our gift exchange, and then let's get into these goals, because we always got to make sure we're on the same page and that we are elevating and growing as individuals and as a couple. One of my goals for 2024 is to practice daily movement. I work from home, and so I'm constantly sitting. I don't have a standing desk. Our space is not super conducive to work in a non-seated position. And so I just was starting to feel the effects of that, like in my hips and in my lower back and all of that. And like, I'm not old, you know, I'm just the tender age of 30. So to be feeling all of that in your body is just, I don't enjoy that. It kind of reminded me a little bit of how I was feeling in 2020, you know, when everybody was just sitting in the house and you're really just living a sedentary lifestyle. Like, don't like that. So I really just want to get back into practicing yoga, doing like at least 15 to 20 minutes of stretching every day. I found this app called, it's literally just called the Yoga app. So I downloaded that and they have these cool little challenges or like little programs. So each day that you do yoga, you can check that off and then it'll take you to the next level or next class. So that's been like a fun little thing to do. I mean, we do walk quite a bit here in New York, but because it's been so cold, like I found myself kind of, I'm like, I'll just call a Lyft. It's fine. Sometimes walking to the train or walking to the bus just feels like too much. Like it is quite chilly here, but you know, I can still stretch in the house. So I'm trying to make sure that I do that every day. And then similarly to that is just getting back in the gym. So as I mentioned before, I was doing personal training 3 times a week with my best friend. That was like our way to basically see each other every week. It's nice. I need an accountability partner when it comes to working out. That is just, I'm not always self-motivated to do that. And so now we have been going to the gym. We don't need to. I would like for us to get on a 3-day-a-week schedule, but if we can get at least to 2 consistently, that'll be ideal. You only get one body, you only get one life, and I'm trying to live for a long time. I'm trying to make sure I take good care of my body and myself. It definitely, you know, when you work out, you definitely feel the effects of it. Of course, there's physical aspects of it, but it really does help you kind of like, at least me, you know, clear your mind a little bit. When I'm in there, that is like the thing that I'm focused on, is like completing a workout and like getting a good sweat in. That's just very high on my list this year. It's just moving my body, getting back to it so I can just do a cartwheel. So I could be out here doing backflips at my wedding, you know? The second goal that I have is to start reading for leisure again. So when we first started dating, we started a book club. It was only just the 2 of us. You know, the membership applications were closed, so it was only a 2-person thing. But it was one of our favorite things about our relationship because it was just a different way for us to connect. I think, you know, you go on dates and you go to dinner, concerts, or whatever, but I think there was something about really getting to know each other on like an intellectual and analytical level that was really just like, oh, love that. So we have decided to bring our book club back this year. We haven't talked about, you know, if we're accepting more members at this time, but I would definitely keep you all updated. Back then, what we used to do is we would read a book a month, and we would, at the end of the month, like cook a meal and discuss the book. And I think we're gonna get back to the whole shebang. So we're gonna read a book a month, cook a meal, or maybe like go to a coffee shop or something and be corny. But yeah, I just really enjoy reading. I've always loved reading, and I think once you get into the thick of like working and all of this stuff, it just kind of falls to the wayside, unfortunately, or at least it did for me. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. Right now we're reading God as a Black Woman by Dr. Christina Cleveland, and it's a book about Black people's relationship to religion, and it's really, really interesting. It's very insightful, very thought-provoking. I haven't finished it yet. We're like halfway through, I think. So maybe I'll come back on here. Maybe we can do like a book review series and I can like talk more about it. But anyway, looking forward to reading more. If you guys have any book suggestions, please let me know. I love fiction. I love books written by Black authors. I love books about Black people. So send your suggestions. All right, next goal is to start a new podcast. I think I mentioned this in one of my older videos, but podcasting is something that I love. I love to listen to them. And also when I was hosting a show and producing a show, it was like something that I looked forward to doing every week. So that show was called Damsels in Detroit, if you're not familiar. So I would interview Detroit women about what they were doing, like whether they owned a business or, you know, whether they were just like really killing it in their industries. love hyping people up and getting them to tell their stories and sharing that information with others. So the idea I have is a little similar, but of course, because I'm not in Detroit anymore, I can't call the show Damsels in Detroit. But just think influential women, think very powerful women. That is who I want to connect with for this podcast. And I think I can make it happen. It'll still be very interview based, very interview heavy, but just on a broader scale. And that's all I'm going to say. Still working some details out, but it's going to happen. And I'm going to give myself a timeline to finish strategizing by the end of next month. And then hopefully I can start to record and like get some stuff off the ground in March. So fingers crossed. Either way, it's going to happen. And then in that same vein, I really want to push myself to get back into a creative space and to express myself creatively. So I mentioned podcasting, but I also used to blog. I used to do a lot of influencer work. And I took a break from it because it was just, I think doing that and working in social media full time is just like, it just felt like too much. But I'm missing it and I really want to get back to it. Like I miss getting dressed up and taking fun pictures, or, you know, trying out new products and sharing them with you guys. I don't know, it's just something that I love, and so I need to get back to it. As far as work goes, but I feel like this goal could kind of tie into my professional and personal endeavors, is taking some certification courses. I can't say that I'm interested in going back to school full time. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. A master's sounds cute, but it's like at what cost? Literally at what cost? So there's like the financial thing for it. I don't want to take on any more student loans. And then I don't know, you know, homework and all of this other stuff just, I don't know. I mean, never say never, but in the meantime, while I'm figuring that out, there are a bunch of certification courses that are free that I can take. And so there's some things that I feel like I've been thrown into with the nature of my job that I didn't necessarily have like the technical skill set for, like email marketing. I've been doing some email marketing at work right now, and I think I can make an email look very nice. And I think I can, you know, develop a really fun and engaging tone of voice. But as far as like the technical things that go into it and like some of the terminology and language that's used on the back end, I'm not super familiar with. So that's something that I want to learn. SEO is another thing. You know, especially with me doing YouTube now, it's like optimizing everything for search engines. And I think that's really important to know how to do for social as well, especially when you think about apps like Instagram and TikTok and how people are literally using those instead of Google for search engines. You know, you want to make sure that whatever content you post is showing up. I never want to get to a place where I'm just complacent or stagnant and refusing to learn new things. I think that is just not beneficial to go about life that way. So I just always want to make sure that I'm like refreshing my skills. And so I think I said I could take one a month. That feels a little aggressive, but I don't know. Maybe I could. I think it's possible to take a course a month, but if not, I at least want to do one every other month. It's like get a new certification in something so that I can just be the best marketer I can be. And we just briefly mentioned student loans. So while we're on that topic, another goal that we have, and I'm saying we because it's for the both of us, is just to really get into our financial bag. Okay, we want to make sure that our debts are paid down. We want to do some more investing, really just building up that portfolio, thinking about retirement and how we can maximize those accounts. But I mean, you definitely have to have these conversations when you are integrating your life with someone else's. But we both just want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for a life of abundance and prosperity and success. Like, we don't want to have these debts, like student loan debts or credit card debts, like hanging over our head when we're just starting to build this life together. So really have been focused on that. I said that Robert is the accountant in the household because he is definitely a smidge more responsible than me, but you know, I'll get there in due time. So yeah, that's another big goal. It's just making sure we have the financial freedom to live the life that we want and to do whatever we want. So the next goal I have is less screen time. I spend a lot of time on my phone. Unfortunately, I'm definitely a doom scroller. I definitely am on there for longer than I need to, especially when I should be asleep. It's like it's after midnight. There's no reason for me to be on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Like, it's just no reason for me to do that. So I really am trying to do better with respecting app limits that I put on my phone. So after 11 p.m., I don't have access to any of those social media apps. Only thing that I'm able to, not even the internet, the only thing that I'm able to look at is my email. And I think that's it, actually. Maybe the weather app. I'm really trying to just, again, reading. Get back into reading, get back into journaling weekly, doing anything other than just being on my phone aimlessly. It's just one of the worst habits I think you can have. It's so addictive and just gross. And like, nobody needs to consume that much media. It's just not healthy. So I really just want to get back to a place where I have a healthy relationship with my phone and that I'm able to put it down and not feel like I'm missing out on anything. So far I've been doing pretty good, and I'm just hoping that I can like keep it up and that I don't fall victim to weakness. And then I think this goes along with the screen time, but establishing a bedtime routine and actually sticking to it. I have always been a night owl. I think that it is just in my DNA, but I would like to be a person that goes to bed at a decent hour and wakes up at a decent hour, because there's been too many times where I've gone to bed at like 2 and 3 in the morning on a weekday, knowing that I have to get up and work, and then I wake up and I feel so sluggish and just like so tired and just out of it. So lately I've been trying to go to bed between 11 and midnight at the latest, really. And I've been waking up feeling so good. It's like I don't even need to drink any caffeine. You know, I'm productive. I'm not yawning a whole bunch throughout the day. And I'm like, wow, all I had to do was just go to bed at a decent hour. So that's another thing that I'm hoping I can keep up with. On the weekends, I give myself, a little bit of playtime, but during the week, I really just need to buckle down and stick to it and get my rest. Of course, this one is obvious, but planning our wedding is definitely a big goal for me this year. I think I've been doing a really great job at getting these things done, checking things off, not stressing myself or anybody else out. I'm I think I could be a wedding planner, honestly. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be my pivot. But, I really just want everybody to have a great time, and just be with us to celebrate our love. I'm just like looking forward to that day. I really can't wait because I know it's just going to be such a blast. And I'm excited to be marrying my boo. So, yeah. And then I would say my last one is allowing myself the opportunity to fully embrace living in a new place. I think that I still have a little bit of anxiety about things that are unfamiliar to me, which is natural. And I know I'm the type of person where it takes me a little bit longer to start to feel comfortable and settled. But I do finally feel like I live here now and like that I'm not on an extended vacation. So I think that is beautiful. But there's just so many things that I want to do and want to see, and I don't want my anxiety or nervousness to take over and allow me to not give Brooklyn and New York the chance that it deserves to become my new home. It's funny because one of my best friends was here visiting last week, and she's like, remember when you always wanted to live in New York? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so the fact that I'm here now and I have all of these things available to me and all of these cool things are basically at my fingertips, is like I really just want to explore and do more and make new connections and make new friends and accept all of the beauty and the grittiness and everything that it has to offer. So that is definitely, I should have said that before because that's actually like one of my main goals for sure this year. All right, y'all. So that was my little 2024 goal list. I would love for you guys to share some of yours in the comments so that we can chat and see if we have any similarities with what we want to accomplish this year. But I'm definitely looking to you all to help me stay accountable on these things. I think these are all attainable. Nothing that I want to do is out of reach or impossible. I just have to stay consistent and remember to look at the big picture of it all. And yeah, so I would love for you all to just give me little nudges sometimes, like, okay, where are you at with the podcast? Where are you at with your content creation? What else have you done in New York this month or this year? Whatever. So yeah, I need my little online community to just lift me up and surround me and help me out on this journey. But I'm really excited for this year. I think it's going to be a fantastic year. I think it's going to be a year full of growth and change and newness. And I'm just ready for it all. Honestly, I feel really, really good about what's to come. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to come sit in the cozy corner with me. So, looking forward to sharing some more stuff. I have some fun things that I'm getting ready to do soon. I'll be going to go look for my wedding shoes. There's this really cool wedding trend pop up with Anthropologie and Pinterest that I got a ticket to. We have like a fun concert that we're going to soon. So I have some more stuff to share, and I promise I will get back to my weekly videos. Okay. So anyway, see you guys later. Bye.